Hello, hello, merhaba, zdravo.
You took my part. Zdravite, Peshendiete, Yasu, welcome everybody, and Bună ziua, of course. Welcome
You
to
have
another
more.
episode. We have much more, but those are the core ones. So, as I said, welcome everyone to another episode of your lovely Balkan Show. So today we're having quite a unique guest, first time from this country, from the Balkans. We're not gonna say, you can read it probably from the if you have the chance to read it from the name of the episode. He comes from the westernmost part of the Balkans. Some will also argue if it's part of Balkans or not. He's a young guy with a really interesting backstory, interesting not hobby, you may say, work and activity that he does, which is unique. I may say I met him by doing the stuff that he does, not just doing directly, but being guided by him. Spoiler alert. So, not to say much, Onat, what can we expect in the episode?
So in this episode, we will discover his journey in Arctic Circle, and what did he do there? How did he end up there? And also his favorite moments, favorite stuff to do there, and also there will be a lot of stuff for people who are planning to go there. They can also take it as a guide. So yeah, this will be a fun episode, and hopefully people get
For
a
sure.
lot of information.
For sure. So, lie back or sit down or jump, run, whatever you do, and enjoy the episode with our today's guest, Vid Rudan. So, let's start with the episode.
Yeah, let's go, and don't forget to subscribe, put comments, and a lot of other stuff.
It
Ciao.
doesn't cost anything. See ya.
Hello,
And
hello.
we are back. Hello. Welcome, Vid.
Hello, it's nice to be here. Yeah.
Before we go deep dive, Vid, if you'd like to tell something about yourself to our audience, a really short, like, Balkan backstory, if you may say so.
I come from Slovenia. Well, all the way in the west. Some people might say it's not Balkan. I think it still is.
Depending on mentality. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say Slovenia, geographically, whatever, half, but mentality-wise, definitely Balkan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Totally agreed. Vid, would you like to say, yeah, actually, I have already to say something before our audience to know who you are and how we came to our show. We met in person a few months ago. It was extremely cold, but nevertheless, now being in a cozy rooms, you and I in separate countries and so on, we can talk about your experience there. Where were you working when we met?
So yeah, it was not in the Balkans. I actually kind of far away, around 2,000 kilometers, I think. So we met all the way in North Finland. That was like, imagine a place. There's more reindeer than people walking around.
Mm-hmm.
It's minus 10, minus 15. I think what was minus 20, minus 30 that time when you were there, I think.
When I was, it was minus 25 here, and 100 meters there was minus 30, 100 meters there.
Now I finally meet you without, all the
layers and
scarves.
layers of clothes. Yeah. Yeah, true. What were you doing there?
So yeah, I was there guiding, and then a friend of mine, Boschko, he's like, "Hey, Vid, there's this friends coming to visit us. Maybe we try to make it so they can go with you on the trip." So basically, to a friend, co-worker, and then we met outside. Actually,
Yeah. First of all, greetings to Boschko and Victoria, the nice couple that were greeting us there, and your co-workers are amazing, and they gave us a chance to meet you. So you're a guide there, and what activities do you guide there for? Where is it exactly in Finland? First of all,
yeah, this is North Finland, around 100 kilometers south from Norway border, and then 50 kilometers away from Russia. It's a place called Inari. Inari is like, it's maybe you know it from crosswords. there's a lake Inari. I think that's like a few old people from Slovenia were just like, oh, it's the lake from the crosswords. And I know, of course I know.
That's the only way they would know.
Yeah, but there's like, I mean, it's nothing there. The only reason why I want to go there is for if you want to have like a nice winter holiday, or you live there, or maybe you're on the way to North Cap. I think that's more or less everything.
Yeah. So it's Laponia, Lapland.
Lapland, yeah.
As people would know it. Yeah, it's all good. And you were working in a resort as a guide, so they're like,
yes.
How does it
There's
look like
this,
yeah.
I mean, there's plenty of this kind of resorts. So the one I worked at this winter it's just like hotel resort. We take care of everything. So guiding outside, basically, imagine you come to Finland, you want to go out snowmobiling, or you want to go out snowshoeing, or I don't know, look at the area, find out something. Then you basically come to maybe me, maybe somebody else, one of the guides, and then we make sure you don't die out there. That's basically the main job. If you can have a bit of fun while you're not dying, that's fine. But as long as you come back alive, I'm happy.
So primarily to have fun, but actually, realistically speaking, stay alive and hopefully have fun.
Yeah. I mean, the main job as a guide is just make sure you come back in one piece. Don't freeze. Don't feel bad. If I can be an entertainer, that's perfect. But still, the main job is making sure you stay alive, which is, I think, something people don't think about so much.
Yeah.
How did it happen?
That you end up there?
Oh, how did I? So, yeah, it's kind of like a long story because it's, I think my life is basically just moment, and if I put these moments in, like, if everything goes as it goes, I'm here and right now. Like, maybe I don't meet one friend, I'm not here. Like, for example, the reason why I went to Lapland in the first place, that was 3 years ago, which actually came from, like, originally I'm not guiding winter time, I'm more of a summer guide. Basically, I did rafting 6 years now on the Socha River. This is where I'm originally from. Maybe you heard
in
of
Slovenia.
Yeah, in Slovenia. Yeah. So, and then after a few years of that, Corona came and all this bullshit, and I tried college, wasn't really my thing. So I decided, okay, I need something to do in the winter. And, I was thinking bartending, maybe some factory, maybe some, just something to do in Slovenia. And then this Croatian guy, everything is Balkan in the end. He was like, hey, man, I've been to Finland 3 years now. I don't go this year, but I think you should go. He gave me like a website. I checked out all this stuff. I applied for one company because I was a bit lazy. Got the job, and then I arrived not to Inari, but to Levi in the first year. So I spent 2 winters in Levi, and then I got a bit bored with the place. It's a bit too much, to be honest. And then decided to look for something else. Found this place in Inari. Ended up there. So basically, how did I end up, to answer your questions in like one sentence? Through a friend.
I like how you summed it up, like through Balkan connections, of course. Like, what else? Like,
always.
Yeah.
And anywhere you go, there's always somebody from Balkan. It's always the same.
True, but coming from talking about your country, there's not so many Slovenians abroad. To be honest, I never met so many people working. To start off, in absolute numbers, there are not so many of you.
Yeah.
And then let's start on relatively speaking numbers.
I mean, honestly, in Finland, every place I went to, there was always somebody also from Slovenia.
Okay.
Actually, the first year I went there, I go to bar, and then like there's this girl. She's like, "What the fuck are you doing here?" Because
she was also surprised as me.
She was like from Slovenia, but not just from Slovenia. She is from like this village, from the same valley where I live.
Oh.
So basically, half an hour drive, and we meet in Finland.
What a
and then also I went around a little bit. There was some other place as well, not so far away. Also one Slovenian guy, and then you always hear about the Croatian or some Serbian, or I flew back with one Bulgarian guy next to me, like
you see
all kinds of places.
Yeah. But what do you think in general Slovenians don't? Yeah, in your case, you found a couple of them by chance, but like, why do you think in general, why not so many of them?
I think it's, like when you think about if you go
besides the NBA players and sports guys,
of course.
they go abroad.
But I think Slovenians don't want to go abroad so much because like we are really in this, our parents made a house. I mean, their parents made a house,
Uh,
three stories, for the whole family. We can stay in the same place. We don't have to go outside. We get the free education. It's okay enough to live here, but like still comparing to Finland or like Northern Europe, it's different, level of money you can make in this thing. Like I think it's the same reason why if you go back, like when I was a kid, I was still growing up with people who are like, of course it was because of Yugoslavia and everything, but people were still moving to Slovenia
Yeah.
from Serbia, Bosnia, Croatia, not so
they
much,
still are.
but
Mhm.
I think now a bit less compared
Yeah.
to because it's more or less getting even. But in the old days, Slovenians didn't have to go out so much. I think there was, of course, there was like all those who went to Argentina and this stuff.
Yeah, of
But
course. After 1945, yes.
yeah, exactly. But like otherwise, Slovenians, I think, mostly just stay in the
Yeah.
country.
Yeah.
Maybe some people went to Germany, but
But
not so much.
as I know, and you're also example, you're temporarily going away and then you're coming
Yeah.
back. And there are a lot of them working in Graz in Austria and just coming back, like working there like
Yeah.
on daily basis and just
Yeah,
coming back.
even like especially in like in that region, because in the north of Slovenia is it's I would say like one of the least developed ones. Also, it's easier to go to Austria than to go to Ljubljana, for example. So I mean,
Yeah.
and then you get better money. So
Mm,
why not just go to Austria?
yeah.
Everybody speaks German anyways, because
Yeah, on top of that, that's what I read somewhere that Slovenians are like number one country, like when it comes to second level of German speakers, like second language German speakers
yeah, possible.
after Austria. That the first level of course, mother language, but also on top of that, Italian on the west, Serbo-Croatian in general. Like you're multilingual, really. Yeah, you can adapt quite easily, and still you stay there and you like it. Obviously,
There's
living
not
in
enough of
Slovenia.
us, There's nobody to talk to.
That's what I said. Yeah. Nobody wants to play with us. We need to come up with something. Yeah. Okay. Great. Now I have again at least some picture. I hope our audience as well. Why is it so like this? And coming back to Finland, the activities that you mentioned, like you mentioned not snowboarding, sorry, but nevertheless there is some snowboarding and ski activities. Not so much as in Slovenia for sure. But you mentioned snowmobiles and stuff. What are the activities that actually can people do there besides getting cold?
Well, you try to stay warm as you get cold, and staying warm again. It's like just move. That's it. It kind of works, surprisingly. But I think like the main things would be, of course, like the one thing that everybody comes to. You don't really think of it as an activity, but just like staying outside and watching the nature, like Northern Lights, for example.
Oh yeah, Aurora
Like,
Borealis, Northern Lights. Yeah.
people just go there they just pay money. Like you can do it in a more fun way, like with a snowmobile or snowshoeing or like kind of being outside. But the amount of people who just go there to pay somebody to drive them around, they usually fall asleep while they drive. Hey, wake up! There's no lights. Ooh, take pictures, and then that's it. Like it's crazy how many people just want to do that, just that.
Yeah.
And then but
Sorry, digression about this. Lots of people have this impression they go there, they're gonna see it.
yeah,
Yeah, but unfortunately, it's not the case, right? Not
nah.
always. Yeah.
Thing is that sometimes you see it for a week straight, all the time. It's amazing. I mean, when it's dark, and sometimes there's maybe a month you don't see anything. Last, not 23, 24, but like the previous winter, we basically didn't see anything until I think there was maybe like 5 days with Aurora
Oh,
before February, and
wow.
then middle of February it started to get crazy and it was really good.
And imagine people flying in from different continents,
Yeah.
staying for a couple of weeks and not seeing anything. That's
Like even
really
people
tough.
come. I heard of people that come like 4 times, same time, same place, never saw it.
Man, that's really a bad luck.
Mhm.
It is. It's nature. You cannot control it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what are the other activities that you were
Oh
mentioning?
yeah, and then the ones that are like always fun. I mean, if you go snowmobiling, it's fun. There's nothing, like you drive. Sometimes it's more in the lake. Some places it's more in the forest. Really depends where you go. It's not the same everywhere, even though it's. I mean, it looks the same. Like you see trees, white and more or less flat, but it's different nature a little bit.
Yeah, and the
Like for
sky.
example, yeah, also the sky, yeah.
Different colors.
The time you were here was January or February?
January. Yeah. It was
That's
super
still
cold. Yeah, it was
and super pink.
And pink, yeah, and the
Yeah.
blue color. It's kind of like the blue color you get from the when you gas when you put the on gas. You have the blue
Oh
those
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
It's kind of like that blue. You don't see
Mhm.
it in Central Europe or South Europe. It's kind of that type of blue and on the
Yeah, I don't know
horizon.
why it's like that. It's a bit different.
It was
It's-
amazing, yeah. But the cold itself, it was really painful to hold the gear to steer it somehow. And yet, although you had the warmers like
Mhm.
integrated inside of the snowmobile, it's still from the outside it gets really cold. Although you had like layers and layers of gloves,
Mhm.
it still hits you, the coldness.
You,
Yeah.
you you don't know how many times like it's I'm a guide. I have to stay professional. I have to show like I'm not cold. And then I'm like in my head like, oh man, my thumb is gonna fall off, and I'm just like, I don't feel shit anymore. I'm like, act normal. And in my head I'm just like, fuck, it's cold. So it's not just the people, it's the guys are cold as well. Don't worry.
Yeah, I can imagine. Was there any time, hopefully not, case of serious frostbites for some guests?
Um, I didn't really get any serious stuff. The only thing I saw, like sometimes you see somebody, you come back and like the nose is a bit white, like, oh, you notice it early enough, you just like tell them to hold it, and stuff like this. It's okay.
Oh, okay, not to fall off.
But no, no Voldemort.
The skin, not the Voldemort. The skin not to peel off. Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the most frostbite I did get, that's
you peel part of your skin. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it.
But it regenerates afterwards. Doesn't feel like in a sense, or it does.
It does get better, but I heard it doesn't happen. It didn't happen to me yet. I mean, actually, I did have one frostbite.
Hopefully not.
I had one frostbite, that was a very stupid one, because we just left this like blowtorch outside.
Okay.
So when the gas gets cold, it didn't start. It was like minus 28 or something, and I had like this brilliant idea. I know how to warm it up, and then I got frostbite on my stomach.
Oh shit.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it was like, I don't know, maybe like 1 to like nail sized, so not so much. But it was kind of like, it didn't hurt because it was like it fits in the hands. It fucking sucks because you're all the time grabbing stuff. But I just felt like an idiot.
You'll learn it in the worst way possible, but yeah. So
Not
what
the
are
worst.
yeah,
I could put it in my pants or something. You're right, yeah.
Oh yeah. I didn't get it for a second. Now I got it. Yeah. What are the other activities? You mentioned snowmobile, counting Aurora Borealis or the Northern Lights.
Then snowshoeing is something like you wouldn't. It's just like hiking, but of course you can't hike with normal shoes because
with tennis rackets, right? On your
yes.
looking like a tennis racket.
I mean, it does look like a tennis racket.
Yeah.
I mean, in the French, they call it le raquette, so probably something like this. I don't know.
For sure.
Yeah. It feels clumsy, but it's nice because I mean, when you just go in the forest and you see just full snow all around you, and I mean, if you go without, you might be like waist deep inside the snow.
Oh yeah.
So with this stuff, it's nice. You're just hiking around,
check the nature,
some wildlife, all this stuff.
Nice.
Like you would do hiking, just different equipment.
But allows you not to fall down. That's inside of the snow. Yeah. Also about snow fishing, right? Ice snow fishing. Ice fishing. Yeah.
Ice fishing. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's something. Like at the time you were, did you try it? I forgot.
No, I didn't. No.
You didn't try. Okay. So I mean, it's not the best time. Honestly, January you shouldn't do it. Like people do it now in April because it's nice and sunny, if it's sunny, and then you're just enjoying there, drinking a beer, maybe some fish.
Is it complicated to do it? Like
I mean, if you want to catch some stuff, kind of shit at that, to be honest.
Okay.
But it's about the experience,
Okay, I understand. Drinking beer and having a chat, basically, and getting your ass fall off from cold. Yeah. But basically,
that's why the sun is nice.
Yeah, but you have also activities that you need to move it. The drill it, you do it by hand, I guess. The drilling.
Yeah. Yes. Like I mean, more or less, people just have machine drills now. But of course, With the hotel, we do it by hand because that's the original way. Also, that's why we waste the most time,
Mhm.
So,
At least
but
it's
also you
something.
warm up this way, so it's nice.
Are you also a guide for husky tours, for husky sleighs and
No.
reindeer sleighs? No.
I at the last company I worked for, we used to do. I wouldn't be guiding, but I would go with the people to the husky place,
Mhm.
help around a little bit. But I mean, no, these things. Basically, the people who are reindeer guides, they're not like reindeer guys. They're just reindeer herders, And then they imagine like you had a cow guide. Of course, the cow guide is gonna be like a farmer that has cows,
Of
So,
course.
and then
Makes
for
sense.
the huskies, is just basically if you're a husky guide, you do only huskies because there's no way you would be able to take care of like huskies and then do some random trips in the meantime because
Yeah.
it's like on those farms where they have 150 huskies. Basically, imagine like you have 150 teenagers, like teenage boys, also mixed with teenage girls,
Oh.
and they can't speak, but full of hormones and everything. That's kind of how
Ah.
it's the husky farm, Crazy animals that don't
Constantly
run.
howling, barking, hard to control. Yeah, I can imagine. It's a lot to handle. Yeah, but it's just for our audience to know. I was also not paying attention before there that huskies are not native to this part of Europe. They basically imported as
Yeah, it's just
tourist offer.
tourism. Yeah,
Yeah.
like reindeers are the real deal. That's how they moved around. Like if you go back 100 years, they would be just with reindeers, either walking or in the winter using reindeers. Just like you would, I don't know, a horse.
Yeah.
Maybe not like riding, but like to pull something. And then huskies are just like cute dogs, perfect for Instagram. So you put it there because it's tourism.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But it's an interesting business. I mean, honestly, it's one of the like as a business, I think it's a shit idea to do it because most of them go bankrupt multiple times.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But at least another one comes again with the same idea, and they keep on having the offer for the tourists. Yeah, great.
Yeah, because like imagine if you have snowmobiles, you spend gas, whatever, mechanic, everything, and then winter's over, you just put it in the corner, you don't touch it for 6 months. If you have huskies, I mean, you have to feed them all year round, and these things eat like massive amounts of.
And plus, as I heard on summer, you also need to practice with them, with the new generation.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
so it's constant care.
Summer, not so much. Summer, they just leave them to because it's too hot for them. Even in Finland, like summer, they kind of chill and they grow up, and as they play with each other, they kind of also learn. Like kids play, they learn from each other. That's how huskies learn. They learn not just from the people, also from the other dogs. But then autumn time, they have to start training, and then winter time they have to, maybe run 100 to maybe 100 kilometers a day. Some dogs.
But still, they're huskies and they have a lot of energy to spend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine. When does the winter start? Or the season officially, and when does it end?
Well, I mean, winter as in like tourism season, or winter as
in both cases?
Okay, I mean, so autumn, winter time, it's like everything is changing from October to November. Basically, it really depends on the year. I mean, sometimes you might have snow in September, or even middle of summer. You can have some places in Finland gets just like like random snow and it goes back to rain. But to have like a proper winter, basically October it slowly starts, November it's snowing and all the lakes are slowly freezing. I mean, from October to November it freezes kind of. And then, for example, the lake, I think it froze this year around beginning of November. Like it started to get patches of ice, and then end of November we were already driving. I mean, was it beginning of December or end of November? I mean, whatever. It was enough to drive on it with a snowmobile.
Okay. And until when?
Still happening right now. I mean, I came back early. I came back early this year.
So as we speak, around end of March, beginning of April. Yeah. Okay, for audience to know.
So I mean, now it's still happening, and even the ice will still stay until from beginning to middle of May. At some point, it melts.
Wow.
Yeah.
So basically, the spring and summer just happens in the same time, and then it just gets really.
Yeah. Like the spring is kind of horrible because everything is melting, everything is wet. It's kind of looks sad, and like
And
this.
what happens as well, as I learned, you will not like to go there without any proper protection. Not from the bears, but maybe that as well. But tiny
uh,
stuff.
Spring is still okay, but yeah, in
Huh.
summer definitely loads. Not repellent, but just nets,
When
proper
they
nets for mosquitoes.
when they
Mm.
hatch, I guess in spring
Hmm.
they still hatch, but by summer they hatch and it's just waves. It's just you cannot see through them. Not completely, but maybe some cases around the swamps.
I mean, if you like, I haven't been there in summer yet, so I can't say from first-hand experience. But
Mm.
like from what people been telling me in the last 3 years, basically before the midsummer, it's still kind of okay, like you can handle it.
Mm.
And then after midsummer, basically just if you don't have proper nets and like you walk with a hat with the nets, like it's almost like you're a beekeeper, but you are a hiker,
Wow.
because
That's
like these things,
intense.
they just don't get tired of you. They're just gonna be all the time. Even the reindeer hate them. Like it's so bad.
Oh
Like the
shit.
reason why reindeer stay, like in summers, reindeer stay together in the swamps. They get all dirty and full of mud and everything just to get the mosquitoes
Uh,
out.
to protect them, yeah.
Mm.
I heard similar in Africa. That's why they got into mud and stuff to protect from the insects and stuff and pests.
Makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, it's quite a lot. Anna, do you have something to ask?
Yeah, actually, the about this nature thing, that there's nothing happening on the summer, right?
I mean, summer is just hiking mostly. Hiking,
Uh-huh.
fishing, kayaking. Like there's some rivers in Finland. They also have rafting and stuff like this.
Oh,
Like for
but
example, there's one river going. If you look at the map of Finland, all the way in the west. So the whole border with Sweden and Finland is one river. It's the
mm,
biggest one in Finland, I think so. People do rafting there and kayaking.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, if you go, like for example, the same place you visited, so Inari, people go for fishing and hiking, but not like in this
mm.
organized way.
Mm-hmm.
People won't
Okay,
go and get a guide and go hiking. It's summertime.
yeah, I
It's
see.
light all the time, so people don't get scared of getting lost.
Mm-hmm.
So the pre-tourist season is during winter, basically.
Yeah,
Mm.
for sure.
And the guests that you have, like, which ones you find? Can we ask you right now, like, about your guests? Which one you like the most? Which one you like the least? Do you have any preferences?
Oh, like nationality or?
Yeah, you can name it like this, or some
Or
specific
specific one.
cases. Yeah, funniest
I,
moments, scariest moments. No, you name it.
I mean, I can go like kind of like just from top of my head.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
example, Polish people, they can be either, it's either you have the best time of your life, which is more rare, or they're a bit more like just how to say
Tough to handle.
tough to handle. They don't care about the rules. They want to do things their own way, which is also, I think, a little bit
Balkan.
similar with the Balkan.
Yeah, yeah.
But and we don't have so many people from Balkan, to be honest. I think if I had was mostly
Uh,
okay.
Usually, monetary barrier is the case why it's not so. Yeah.
Yeah, monetary. Yeah, exactly. It's
To say
expensive.
it
Yeah,
frankly, yeah, that's why. Yeah,
yeah.
unfortunately.
I had one couple from Romania, but they were a pain in the ass. That's all I can say.
For our audience, we're not generalizing. We just want to see your experience with the guests.
Yeah.
That's it. Your personal experience. That's it. It can be
Yeah.
good or bad. It's up to you.
Mm.
Like, yeah. Do you have like some moments that you're like, if I gonna lose them or they're gonna get themselves killed. I don't know what to do about them. Like, did you have some moments like you were like desperate?
Yeah, it was like there was actually only one time this season that was like it was with the Romanian couple because they're like really a pain in the ass. Like when you have to, because some people don't understand that I'm here with the group. If you want to do something, sorry, tough shit. If you have money, pay for a private tour. If you can always rent your own machine and go on your own and get lost on your own, if you want to. But like if you go on the guided tour, keep in mind there's other people around you. If somebody wants to drive slower, like I'm not gonna make them go fast and crash somewhere, Just like and at that moment I was like, because I saw them, I look back more than I look forward when I do trips with a snowmobile, because that's my job. So at that moment I was just like watching them do stupid stuff. I talked to them once, and at that time I was like, if they crash on their own, I'll deal with it, but I won't feel bad about it. As long as I don't hit somebody else, I'm happy,
But basically, they need to follow the track, and they were constantly going on their own off the track, and then
I mean, you could just see them, slow down, get fast, play left and right, do their own thing. I was like, if they go left and right and they crash, I don't care. If they go fast and they don't stop in time and hit people in front of them, then I'm a bit mad.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Do you have some funniest moments?
I'm trying to think of stuff now, because mostly it's like
with stuff, and it works with your stuff, with your colleagues, I guess.
Yeah, mostly it's like that. Like people just when I used to work still in Levy, I used to work with this one Spanish guy, and he would always, like there's some people who just come back from the trips. They come home in the evening, just drink a beer, and then suddenly they have a whole fucking comedy show about the trips they had that day. Like, one day he had like, oh man, today I had the youngest people in my group were 70 years old, and stuff like this. Like,
yeah, it happens. Okay,
it happens. Everything. Yeah.
And what about the locals there? How do you work with them? Talk with them? How do they live there?
I mean, if they live there, they're either like maybe either they're reindeer herders, or maybe they do something with the tourism. Not like guiding themselves, but like maybe they own a hotel or a bar, or they own something. But mostly it's like reindeer herders, and then just like normal life, I mean, as normal as it can be in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. For our audience, basically, for them to know, this region where you work is usually specific to having this specific group of people there living. It's called Sami people. Could you tell who they are and what's the difference between them and Finns from your perspective? So I understood, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Sami are like the oldest people in Europe, indigenous group. Yeah,
indigenous.
10,000 years ago, maybe, or later. Nobody really knows exactly how they got there because ice ages, everything got wiped out. I mean, it's basically people say, yeah, we fell from the sky. This is how we ended up here. And they are the original settlers of that area. Like Finnish people are like a mix of different things, like a bit of Sami, a bit of Swedish, a bit of Russian. Not so much Russian, but
Uralic group of people from Urals and stuff. Yeah, they came from this region. Yeah,
they are like Finnish people are mostly mixed between Sami and Swedish and people who just moved there. So they're like the language is a little bit similar with the Sami as well, but
Finnish and Sami. Okay.
Yeah, a little bit similar, but not too much. But Sami, they're like mostly they come from reindeer herding, like practice, or they were, if you go more back, they were also fishermen or hunters before they figured out how to herd reindeer. But they're like a little bit like Finnish people. I mean, like this straight face, serious. I don't show I'm happy, but maybe they're happy. Who knows? I mean, apparently they're happiest in the world.
Yeah, is it true? I mean, can you see it? Do they say themselves that they're happiest in the world?
I mean, there's mostly bad jokes about it, because like they don't show any happiness. I mean, maybe they're happy just because. I don't know when they do this
survey. Yeah.
If you do it after winter, of course they'll be happy. They didn't see sun for 2 months, and then suddenly there's sun out. So I mean, who wouldn't be happy?
Yeah, the radical jumps of happiness and radical drops.
I mean, yeah, if you do it in the middle of winter, I think everybody's depressed. If you do it when the sun comes out, everybody's happy because like just the feeling of not seeing sun for 2 months and then seeing again. It's not like being inside behind a computer 2 months. Like literally going outside and you see the light but you don't see the sun.
Yeah,
that's crazy dopamine highs.
I guess when they're born into it, they get used to it. They have saunas, they have like leisure time for themselves, and they drink beer during saunas. Yeah. I don't know if you're allowed to do this. I was like,
it's the best thing, man. Like there was this first time, like I mean, went to sauna with a Finnish guy. He said, like, let's take beers. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's normal. I mean, they drink it all the time anyways. And then the weird thing was he told me, hey, now pour a bit of the beer over the rocks. Like, over the hot rocks, just a little bit. And I was like, I thought this was a joke. But then turns out, like, if you like the smell of barley and these hops, it's kind of good. Just don't do it in a public sauna. It's not
And I'm guessing it's evaporating a bit alcohol, so it gets into nostrils and gets more
I mean,
hit.
it's just beer, so
If it still has
maybe
some
you can
percentage.
try with rakia. Who knows?
I mean, some Russian Jews or Russians in Israel, they do this by, with nargila or with shisha. They put it vodka instead of water, so they directly in their head they
Oh,
inhale
God.
alcohol. So they get intoxicated for like hours, not moving, like in a coma. And I got out of it like it was a great moment. Like, what?
That
Why would you do
sounds
this to
horrible.
yourself? Yeah, it
For
is.
some reason, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, me neither. But I was thinking like Finn people do this with beer. They pour beer and then they inhale this from the rocks.
Maybe it's something like if you inhale vodka but you don't drink it. Maybe it's something like it's not.
Yeah, it
forbidden.
hits you stronger. It hits you stronger. Maybe. Yeah, talking about spirits in Finland. About our audience. Can you
Oh
tell
yeah, so I mean,
interesting story about this?
the main spirit. I mean, there's a few spirits you want to try. The first one is like, let's say the one that I think most people wouldn't hate, mintu. So
Okay.
it's like a mint liquor. It's basically vodka with mint flavor, but you don't taste the alcohol at all. Like, I mean, it's kind of dangerous if you don't think about it.
Mhm.
Bit of mint, more mint, you don't feel anything, and then suddenly
It
kaput,
hits you. Well, it's too late. Yeah.
Yeah. And then they have Yalovina. Yalovina is nice, but it's just like a cheap cognac brandy type drink.
But coming from Turkish background, yalovit, something that's usually, what does it mean on it in Turkish? Usually we say it in Serbia, Bosnia, Croatia. This yalovina is meaning that something is either it can be also leftovers from the tree, or it can be also like that something is really bad quality.
Yeah, I think you know what I mean. I think you know what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't think it's we have it in Turkish.
I think we say yellow, like it's.
He's like, weak.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, kind of like this.
Yeah. It's just funny for me when I heard it the first time, Yalovin. Okay, I just take this and it's not so weak.
It can make you weak, yeah, for sure.
For sure. Yeah, but it's forbidden in Finland to have the strong spirits in the markets, right? Only.
Oh yeah. Sadly,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
only 5.5% you can sell in the supermarket.
Yeah.
Everything else, if it's higher than that, you have to go to the special store, alcohol store. So then, where I was staying, for example, I would have to drive half an hour just to get myself a bottle of wine, for example.
Oh.
So
I can imagine why, because in the northern cultures, when it's so dark over the year, I mean, leisure time can be just drinking. So
I mean, they have a word for it. They even have a kalis or kalit, if I say it right now. Basically, it means like the translation would be sitting at home in your underwear drinking alone. They have a word just for that. So basically, when you come home after work, you take off everything except the long underwear.
Yeah.
You sit down on the couch and then you start drinking alone. That's their kind of meditation.
But lucky they cannot take a really strong alcohol. It really takes time to get it, and so in other way, we have like really high level alcoholics.
Yeah. I mean, it works. Finnish
It
people,
does.
like before I went there, I heard all about Finnish people. Yeah, they're drunk, they're this and that. Drink a lot all the time, and then in reality, I think Balkan is worse. For sure.
Extensively, but at least we I don't know we have such high level alcoholics, but we drink I think constantly throughout the year, like but they have like high peaks because of summer and winter, and that kicks them in.
I think it's like for Finnish people, what I noticed, they don't drink so much every day, but they would drink, they maybe don't drink for a week, and then Friday hammered, and then again nothing for a week, businessman, and then Friday the tie is around the forehead, like this in the bar, like that. They just have no shame when they're drunk. Very opposite to what they usually do.
We're a good example. We drink every day at least a bit, to some extent, more or less. Some people do it like this, as you said as well. But you have to dose it like generally. Like, take your poison like regularly, and you get poisoned. Yeah, you see, bit by bit.
Yeah.
Basically, that's it. We learn from our mistakes, or we didn't have mistakes. We learned from the scratch. I don't know.
Although I think that Slovenia, like when I was checking, there was some graphs. A friend of mine told me, "Hey, this is so good. We should drink to this." We were the peak in Europe, or maybe I think it was Europe, the highest percentage of deaths by alcohol.
We should drink it at night. Really morbid. I
Salute
get
to
it.
this, you know.
I get it. Ironically speaking, yes,
Mhm.
yes. In that name, yeah. They say we drink a lot. Nah, it's impossible. Then take another one. Yeah. You see, you're right in the end. There's much more things in common with the rest of the Balkans Slovenians as the regular Slovenian would like to admit.
Oh, for sure. I mean, when I was younger, you know, especially before Corona, I thought like, okay, you know, it's geographically, yes, it's mixed. I think also people very mixed, but no, especially during Corona, when it was like the national sport was how many rules can we break and then complain about the rules not working. I mean, it doesn't matter whatever you think about it, but I think you break the rules and then you complain about the rules not working. I think that's we're a very mentality wise also like we just do our own way and complain
Yeah.
about the government, but we do it our own way. We don't care. We have fun.
You're doing like quality assurance, quality check. This rule doesn't
Exactly.
pass. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
do it again. Like, that's like past time as well. Like, let's check how
Mhm.
much it's breakable or not. At some point, you need to break. Yeah. It's a good sport to some extent.
Mhm.
Ona, do you have something more to ask?
Yeah, I mean, since we are talking about the drinks, I can ask about the local cuisine. What you were
Oh.
eating there?
I mean, the local cuisine would be lots of fish. I
Surprisingly.
think basically every day was something fish on the menu. Loads of. I mean, we also had loads of like this salmon soup or reindeer. Although, like, I mean, reindeer I think is more with tourism or if you own something.
Mm-hmm.
For
Mhm.
like surprisingly, even though there's more reindeer than people, it's very expensive. Basically, if you buy a cheap sausage, maybe 30 euro per kilo for reindeer, and that's not even all reindeer. There's just like a mix with maybe even a bit of pig and cow. But then if
So
you
it's a
go,
luxury there.
yeah, like if you buy like a proper piece of meat from the reindeer, it's gonna be
Mhm.
maybe 100 euros per kilo.
Oh.
So like, I mean, crazy.
How does it taste like?
It's like a mix between cow and like wild deer. You shoot, you know. If you tried game and cow, I think it's somewhere closer to cow. Like a little bit more, you know, a little bit more like cow.
Like beef, yeah, yeah.
Beef, but a little bit more.
Yeah. Usually,
That's
when
what I think.
that's what I get when I eat some really weird stuff around the globe, or some meat wise, like I don't know, alligator, I don't know, snake, whatever. Usually, there's two things that you have the answer. What does it take? Like you either say chicken or
Chicken.
beef, depending which direction it goes. There's nothing in
Mhm,
between. Like almost like you mentioned now, deer. At least it goes. It makes sense because it's
mhm.
deer-like. I mean, it's kind of
I
relative or
Yeah.
would
something.
I would be scared if someone said it tastes like a flesh, like human flesh. That would be
Mhm.
scary.
That's
Yeah.
a big red flag. Like, okay.
Chill down, Hannibal Lecter.
So you were in the Andes with the football club, and yeah. Side note, yeah, there was an accident. Google it. Yeah, who wants to know?
Oh yeah, that one. Shit. Oh, that was
Yeah, yeah,
crazy.
that one. Yeah, Chilean football player or something like that. Yeah, yeah.
I think I'd be looking for a rope.
Shit. A bit digress, but nevertheless, the food is kind of like not so creative as you would say in the south, but nevertheless, they have
Yeah,
something. Yeah.
I mean, Finnish cuisine is, if it's from somewhere else and they make it, maybe it kind of works. But like proper Finnish stuff, it's quite,
Mm.
it's weird. Like that, the salads they make, I think that's the weirdest thing because they just throw everything together, like almost like you know, something you give to the animals, but then you put some mayo on something and then it looks like it's good. I don't know, like, do you know, like how is it called, Russian salad, or
Yeah,
I
I
think
know.
call it French salad. It's kind of like that style. Everything is like that.
You just put everything like, and there's no
Yeah,
tomorrow.
you
We
have
eat
some
now.
leftover pasta, we have some leftover carrots, we have some peas cooked or something. Yeah, puff all together.
I mean, I understand for the mentality because they were really poor for a very long time up until the 50s
I
or
mean, yeah.
60s. So you cannot this mentality, scarce environment, scarce food. You just
Mhm.
get as much as you can. Like, you have nutrients from
Mhm.
wherever possible. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Until they got Nokia, then rubber as well. Before that, rubber boots to Soviet Union armies selling this, then Nokia and everything, and they had this boom. Yeah, economic boom.
Mhm.
Yeah, that makes sense. Would you like to live in Finland for longer periods?
Oh, I don't think so. I mean, Finland is nice, but I think the winter is still too long for my taste. Even though I go there just for
Mhm.
the winter, I think after like 4 or 5 months of snow, for me
Mm.
it's enough. because like now it's still snowing there.
Mm.
Even like a couple days ago, I think they were still getting like fresh packs of snow.
Oh, we speak again
So
end of March. Oh,
yeah.
no.
So it's still snowing now. It might still snow here and there in April, and in May it slowly starts. Like it's too cold and also too flat. Too flat for me.
Yeah. Coming from Slovenia, yeah,
Yeah.
Alps and everything. But what about the rest, like of Finland, the south of Helsinki, that area? Did you ever had this in mind too?
I mean, it's nice. Economically, it's nice. Yeah, of course.
Mhm.
But I think for me, I'm also a little bit how to say this, not patriotic, but like the place where I grew up. I think everywhere I go, even around Slovenia, I'm always like, oh, it's good, but I'm missing this from home.
Ah.
So every place I go, I think I'm always missing something from home. Either like Finland, there's no mountains, or like too much snow, or
Mhm.
like I don't know, I went to Malta. Oh, I can't drink water from the tap. Like what the hell? Or like this random stuff you don't think about it, but then suddenly like just drinkable tap water. I mean, Finland has that. It's really good. Like
It
this, there's
does.
some things I really like
Yeah, it
from
makes
my
sense.
country.
In the end, that's the actually you explain in practice why lots of Slovenians stay in Slovenia, because you get everything that you need. You have the sea, you have the mountains, connect to the Europe, drinking water, economic opportunities are around really close. You just jump and come
Hmm.
back or inside. So basically, it's self-sustainable in that sense. Yeah, and you go to Belgrade and Zagreb to have fun in the summer on the coast in Croatia.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
everything is accessible. Balkans is there, Europe is there. Yeah, in the middle
I think
point.
I like it because it's really in the middle of everything. Yeah, like you said,
Mhm.
like I think economically it's good.
Yeah, it does. Is
Europe
the
is close. There's airports close. Like where I live, I don't know, half an hour, 2 hours to Venice, and then I can go with an airplane. So
See, Slovenia is also, I discovered this recently. I mean, I knew it, but never pay attention to it. That it's the only place in Europe where all three most dominant cultures collide. So Germanic, Romance, and Slavic all together are just,
yeah, you're right.
yeah. And
Never
that
thought
you,
about it.
me neither. I just like it makes sense. There's an impact from all three sides, and in the end, you have this mixture of really unique in that sense. And no matter people
Yes.
like to stay
So
there.
if something happens, we get fucked from.
That as well. You have also backside, yeah, negative sides. Yeah, true. Positive and negatives. Yeah, you cannot have it all. Yeah. Onat, would you also like to add something more?
I don't have anything right now, but if you have a question, we can.
Yeah. On some interviews, people don't like these last questions, like where do you see yourself, blah blah and those stuff. No.
My next challenges. So this summer, I decided I'm having a vacation. I was thinking about actually. I was already planning stuff to go to Iceland, but at some point I just like, when the gut feeling tells you like you need a break, you need
Mhm.
something to relax, you need some chill time, So I just decided to, because I've been working since I was 15, basically either working or studying all the time. So now I'm
Mhm.
just deciding to
Just
basically
chill.
handbrake, relax.
Mhm.
I'll stay at home for the summer, and then challenges. Like I don't like to make too many plans because then the less plans I have, the less things can go wrong.
Makes
So
sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
usually every time I start to plan something, oh, I'll do this and this for the next 3 years. Half a year later, boom, everything changed.
Yeah, you cannot
So
predict so much. Yeah.
yeah, I think at some point I'll go to Iceland for the summer season.
Mhm.
Um, maybe I
Ah,
like it so much I'll do that all the time.
you meant to work there for the summer in Iceland and for
Mhm.
the winter to work in Finland.
Maybe Finland, maybe somewhere more warm.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think the plan is to get to Iceland one summer season and then see. Maybe I stay there.
Mhm.
I mean, keep returning. Maybe no. Let's see.
Are you
Um,
hope as well to be a guide or something
yeah.
similar?
Kind of. Iceland would be guiding. I think summertime would be guiding for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Because maybe
Mm-hmm.
wintertime, something else. I don't know. I was talking with Gino. Gino is like this other Slovenian guy that was up there as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know him for 20 years now, maybe something like this. We grew up in the same town, so
Yeah.
basically we're saying that maybe some. I mean, again, economic migrant.
Yeah.
Season work somewhere and go back. Maybe some there's fish farms in Norway or Denmark or places like this. Basically searching for jobs that take me maybe 1, 2, 3 months of work,
Mm.
get paid well per month, and then just vacation. This is the goal, basically.
Nevertheless, North Europe is itself exciting and unique in size of nature, people, what you things to see, experience there. It's a really unique place to stay around, and in your free time to explore it and see it around.
And importantly, it's also good money. That's, I think, for me at the moment, it's easier to, at least for me, to maybe, I don't know, plan to go to, let's say, South America or even New Zealand and all these places. Much easier when you have some money in the pocket. And a few seasons in the north makes it possible.
Yeah. Good luck, and for your guiding service in the future, we'll put out some links from you so that when people want to travel to those places to look for Vid to be their guide, that will be nice because I can, not just from this episode, but like I said, from my personal experience, it was really nice to meet you, and you broke some stereotypes about Slovenians. I might say, sorry for saying this, in a positive way. And on top, we were really happy to see a Balkan person there. Yeah, it was really fun for both me and my girlfriend. So yeah, really make it count, and it stayed in a good memory for sure.
I mean, it's easy when you can speak, even though you usually travel to not speak your own language. I mean, or to kind of like meet new people. It's nice also for me when I'm working, when somebody from my place has come from our, area, and then you can speak a bit more. And you can also speak more relaxed because nobody else understands you anyway.
True. To be honest, our group was not so much interesting at least that point, and we having fun, three of us, and like I was just being like pushing, like, hey, let's have fun with others as well, like just not to be left out. But nevertheless, they were still boring. So like, we switched back.
Sometimes, of course, that's just the thing about when you're a tourist. Whenever you go somewhere, like sometimes you get a group when you have, I don't know, the whole group just connects and you have amazing trips with people you haven't met before. Sometimes you get lucky. Or, I mean, sometimes maybe just the guide is the only person that can talk.
That's That's true.
At least then you hope that nobody else is speaking, so you can just have your own trip, and that's it.
At least. Yeah. Great, Vid. Thank you very much for being our guest. It was a real pleasure. Also, great shout out to our people that connected us, to Boško and Victoria.
Yeah. Amazing photographers as well.
Thank you. I had this in my mind to mention. They're also great people to have you as a guide. So people will take you as a guide and take Victoria Boško as photographers. That will be a perfect match.
People actually did that a couple of times. They went with us, just take pictures of people.
Yeah, and they're also Balkans from Croatia. So
exactly.
You see the connection there, more than obvious. Yeah. Thank you once more, Vid. It was a real pleasure. Yeah.
Pleasure from my side as well.
Yeah.
Nice to share the story a little bit, and also with the rest of the Balkan people.
Yeah. Whenever you have some questions about what's the Arctic about, write in the comments, and when Vid has time, he can answer. So like, feel free. Yeah, it's always interesting thing to talk about the Arctic Circle and everything there. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Thank you once more, and see you next time in the next episode. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.